Chicago, 2011. A cop is murdered. Police and prosecutors swear they have the trigger man. He swears he didn't do it. How far will each side go to prove they're right?
Like it's just one bombshell after another, where you're like, what?
The story of a PlayStation, a brain-eating amoeba, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Off Duty, out now. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Howdy, howdy, ho, and welcome to Fantasy Fan Fellas. I'm Hayden, producer of the Fantasy Fangirls podcast and your resident lover of all things Sanderson.
And I'm Steven, your bookish internet goofball, but you can call me the Smash Daddy.
And we are currently deep diving Brandon Sanderson's fantasy epic, Mistborn. But here's the catch. Steven here has not read Mistborn before.
That's right, hey. So each week, you'll get my unfiltered, raw reactions to every single chapter.
And along the way, we'll do character deep dives, magic explainers, and Steven will even try to guess what's next. Spoiler alert, he'll be wrong.
Newsflash, I'm never wrong. Episodes come out every Wednesday, and you can find Fantasy Fan Fellas wherever you get your podcasts.
That new thing? Yeah, we've got it. The Drop by GNC, bringing you all the newness that matters. Handpicked by the pros who actually know what's up and what's proven to work. We keep you on top of the trends and dialed into what's next. Whether you're crushing it at the gym, leveling up your game, or thriving every day, The Drop by GNC is where the latest solutions in health and wellness land first. Non-stop innovation and fresh finds daily. Explore what's new and what's next on The Drop by GNC.
Hello and welcome back to the Cycle Eagle Pop Podcast. This is a podcast where we talk about popular culture through the lens of an attorney and a therapist. I'm Tess Brigham. I'm the therapist. Normally Brooke would be here and say she's the attorney, but today we have a very special episode. This is a crossover with Surviving reality TV. If you are familiar with Surviving Sister Wives, we have done crossovers with them before, Corey and Carly, and they created a new podcast. So hopefully everyone out there will go check it out, called Surviving Reality, so they can expand out beyond talking about sister wives. So this is a two-part episode. We talked about the real lives of Mormon wives. And when we started all of this, we had no idea it was going to be 8 episodes. It was going to be like a housewives show. So you will hear our full conversation where we talk about the show on a high level, and then we go through each episode. So please go check out Surviving Sister Wives. They have a Patreon, patreon.com, surviving pod. Check them out on social media, at Instagram, at Surviving Sister Wives, and check out their podcast. We're going to have all the links in the show notes so you can learn more about them. And here's the show. Thank you so much. All right, sorry, get back to Park City, but it's typical housewives. They have to, right? There has to be somewhere we need to go and trap us all in the same home.
For 2 days, and then you're just gonna have to Thunderdome it out here and figure it out. But they kind of did their own Rose and a Thorn thing too, where they added some anonymity into it here with the truth box.
Yes.
So that became the way to kind of air stuff out, or specifically call out somebody without having them know that it came from you. So it is a way to a conversation starter, an icebreaker for the weekend.
And I think one of the first things that gets asked is to Whitney, and it's if she doesn't like Taylor because she's jealous of her clout. I think we can all agree that is, in fact, the case.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Yes. No, all of these questions are just things that they wanted to say to them. Essentially, it's not at all questions. They just want to say, we know that's how you feel, Whitney. So own it. But is that when they start talking about the RSV video?
This is the thing that I guess Whitney has had a chip on her shoulder about, that TikTok seemed to easily forgive Taylor after everything that happened with her, posting about the swinging scandal, getting arrested for domestic violence. But she is still getting a ton of shit from people on TikTok about the video she made exploiting her sick baby, which rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys had a chance to see the whole thing.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
not
they
in
showed
good
it.
They showed a
taste.
clip. Yeah.
Yeah, they showed the beginning clip. I haven't seen the whole thing, but Like at what point? I mean, that was just so weird. I mean, you're in the hospital. The baby's in that little NICU kind of like plastic thing. And then I can understand wanting to say something about maybe RSV or something. This is what I'm going through. But why do you need to dance? Like
Yeah,
that's
she's
the
doing
part
the
I don't
happy
get.
dance.
The
Yeah.
happy dance that the baby's better? That's the thing, the baby's healed? But then do it at home.
It said in the last frame that she was waiting for him to start breathing on his own again. So it did not seem that like
No, it was
things
not out
aren't
of the
all
woods.
better yet.
Well, as soon as she said it was RSV, I thought to myself, so is there dancing mom talk footage of Robin Brown somewhere too, of when baby Saul went for RSV? Is there? Maybe.
Oh, that
I'm
would
sure
be
there's
You
a
know she likes to
picture.
dance.
She does
Yeah, they
like
took-
to dance.
They took pictures of themselves with Dayton when he was in the
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
in the emergency room. They posed for pictures, like, so there probably is a picture of them
Yeah.
with Saul.
And this is, I think, I don't know if this is because I'm a Gen Xer but I just don't ever think about taking any photos. Anytime Brooke and I are always like, we should take photos when we go to this thing. And then 3 days later, we're like, oh crap, we didn't take anything. We're like, oh, we need stuff for our Patreon. We need stuff for this and that. But I never think to myself, my water just broke. Get the camera. Or my husband, my life is falling apart. My husband just admitted he's on Tinder. Get the camera. It's just every time I just don't get where your mind goes. Like you're in the hospital and all you're
We're
thinking.
old ladies, Tess. We're
I know.
old
I guess
ladies.
so. I just
It's-
don't. You guys are younger than we are. Do you record ever? I mean,
No.
No, we're the same way.
No, we're the same way like that. But I think that's what people were so appalled by was that it was this very serious situation. And she's so used to making everything in her life about content that's
Mhm.
the first thing that she did. And she was responding to someone who had asked her a question, who was worried about what was going on, because I'm sure she had posted something leading up to that about him having to go to the hospital.
Mhm.
And it's just so disjointed to see someone dancing over their baby in what appears to be like the NICU. It was, yeah.
Well, it's almost like, oh, so glad you asked how he's doing.
Let me show you.
Let me show you.
But let me do this little hand jive thing. But you can't possibly understand it in simple words, so I'm going to hand drive it for you, and so that I'm like that hand drive thing that confuses me even more. It's like stop moving. Let me read the words.
I did have to watch it multiple times to see what it said because I was distracted by all of the movement in the background. And then the baby is fully looking at the camera.
They learn young. They
Terrified.
train them. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
This is the kid that's probably in the back seat of that car.
Yeah.
Can't breathe. Because what is happening? Ay, ay, ay. But this is just one of the questions in the truth box. This is like question 1.
Well, it devolves because it spins off, it escalates. There's a couple of other little side fights that happen too. It kind of ends up with like Demi and Taylor getting into it a little bit as well. But then that just kind of sets the tone for there's more fights. This was just the introductory fight. So then that way you know what we're going to be throwing at each other here when we get to the real stuff.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Demi is still pissed about the Fruity Pebbles. So she basically just decides she's going to throw Whitney under the bus and just admits, she's like, I see Whitney for who she is. She's a mean girl. She's this and she's that. But my favorite line of this episode was Demi going, well, when Whitney and I did ketamine 8 months ago.
Dropped in passing.
Also, not against the Book of Mormon.
Yeah.
Also allowed. Ketamine.
Yeah, when Whitney was deep in a K-hole, she admitted that RSV video was all for clout. What?
It's like they go from the laughing gas to the K-hole to the soda. They're drinking sodas.
We have to go to Salt Lake City. This seems like a fun time.
They're partying.
They are. They really are. They're all like, well, we don't party in that way, but we like to party, but we don't party like that. It's like, no, you're doing ketamine.
Yeah, alcohol is for babies.
This is when I actually started to like Demi, because at first I felt like she was a little useless as well. Like she was falling into the same category as Michaela for me.
Or Jesse at that point. The first half of the season, Jesse brought the vodka to the hot tub. That was it.
That was all she contributed. And then Jizz hair care.
Jizz.
Yeah, the extensions on this show are just out of control. I guess, and she gives everyone their extensions. Even Taylor's mom got extensions in between the first couple episodes, and then the break, she comes back and does a full head of extensions.
Let's go. We can go get our sugar-free 44-ounce soda. We'll go do some ketamine. We'll go get hair extensions, maybe a little Botox.
And Botox.
With the laughing gas.
Laughing gas.
Top it off.
That sounds like a really fun weekend.
Yeah. And then we can play poker with Zach and take all his money because he's not very good. He's constantly losing everything. So he's not a very good gambler.
Just an average weekend.
And you know what's interesting about that too is like Ben Affleck has been known to be, right? Like that's been something that's been linked to him.
Mm-hmm.
Gambling.
Are they just doing that to just or are they just leaning into that to kind of they know
establish the connection there?
That's a public thing that's known about Ben Affleck, so we have to have Zach with the same affliction here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, when Zach shows up with Dunkin' Donuts, we know. We know.
He drove a far way to get it. He had to leave Provo, that's for sure.
Yeah, I wonder. So there has to be.
Yeah, there's no Dunkin' Donuts in Provo, I guess.
There's got to be that kind of stuff there, right? There's got to be any
people
of
live
that.
there who aren't Mormon.
Yeah.
Maybe just not as
many
close together as you would find in
prevalent.
Other places.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh God! So what episode are we on now?
I think we're on 5. Are we on 5? We Park City. It seemed like a fun time at Park City until the Truth Box.
Yeah, where Whitney's in the closet crying for attention, and everybody's coming to console her.
Because it ended up being there was a next morning thing. There was a separate conversation that happened, but it wasn't really a separate conversation when everybody else downstairs remains perfectly silent to try to listen in on the conversation. What are we doing? Just have the conversation in front of everybody then. But I think it started off as a Taylor-Whitney thing because, again, that's the main rivalry that they tried to establish at the beginning of the series. Kind of tapered off there because Taylor, like I was saying, she seemed to grow a little bit more as far as handling some of these situations. Maybe she was forced to do some therapy along the way as part of her sentencing and things like that. As for whatever reason, it seemed like she was processing a lot more information or being more direct with people. That was what we liked about Demi, too. Mm-hmm. She was being very straightforward and honest about things. But she did go a little bit too far. Once Whitney had retreated from the upstairs loft conversation to go cry in the closet for a little while, everybody else went in to go make her feel better. Jen Affleck and Macy.
The other saints.
Yes, the other saints had to go make her feel better. And even Taylor came in to kind of, check up on this because the conversation wasn't going great. And Demi had to then storm in and continue berating her. So I feel like that was kind of where maybe we went a little bit too far because now you're getting sympathy for Whitney because this was kind of the point where Whitney was turning towards that villainous type role a little bit because she's getting involved in all of these different issues.
Let's go to dinner though.
Yeah.
Let's all just pretend that didn't happen. We'll have a nice dinner together.
And Whitney's going to go cry in the bathroom now.
Yes.
Oh, man.
She's got to leave the table, make a scene of it. She's got to go cry in the bathroom for a little bit. And then she returns with a tissue stuck to her shoe. Just to make it clear she was in the bathroom crying.
And not talking to a producer.
No one even asked her about the tissue on her shoe. I feel like everything she does is a test. Where she stuck the tissue on her shoe to see if anybody would let her know, hey, you have some tissue on your shoe, or are you okay? You kind of went off there. But she did bring out the cake, so she did make it about herself as well, because it was for Macy's birthday.
Well, I don't know. I'm with Demi on this one. I really am, because I feel like what is not being said is, I bet you anything that the nature of this relationship, this has always been Whitney's thing. That Whitney storms out, leaves, makes it all about her, and then it becomes this whole thing of everyone has to go talk to Whitney and do that. And all of that just reminded me of like the parties I went to in junior high. Do you know what I mean? Like everyone leaving and going off in little rooms somewhere. And I'm sorry, but I think Whitney, I don't know. I think Whitney does create a lot of this. She really does. And it's a lot of tests, exactly like you said. She tests people. How much do you love me?
Will anyone say anything about me wearing this pilgrim dress?
I will. How many pilgrim collar dresses can one person own?
It was very Puritan.
No, this is when she was like, I don't think I'm gelling with this group. I think I got to go with the homesteader thing. Let me see if that Ballerina Farms lady is around.
Yeah.
Let me, what is she wearing today? Let me figure this one out. Yeah. It's too much. All right.
Oh my God.
Episode 5.
Yeah. So it only gets worse from here in terms of things with Whitney.
Well, Whitney goes downhill really quick. And then especially from a content trajectory, she has nothing to offer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, no. Yeah.
She removes herself from the group chat, the group text that they have. So then she's confused why she's being excluded from all these different things for the latter half of the season.
Like, we have no way of getting a hold of you.
You left. And then you want people to chase you. So that's what I'm saying, is where there's that disconnect where you're saying you're doing these things because you chose to do it, but then you're also upset with the outcomes.
Yes. Oh, Whitney.
They all go to a rage room. Well, aside from Taylor, obviously, because she's pregnant. And then, of course, Whitney, since she's not in the group anymore. And meanwhile, we cut to Whitney. She's at home complaining to her husband about how no one called her, nobody invited her, and that they are trying to make her jealous. That's the whole purpose of having gone and done the rage room.
They're posting things on Instagram specifically to make Whitney jealous, not for likes or to build the Mom Talk brand.
Or because they're living their lives, and that's the thing that they're doing with their friend group, which you've decided not to be part of anymore. But it's all targeted at you.
No, it's at me. It's to wound me.
Yes.
It's a conspiracy against Whitney.
It is. It's all about Whitney. And, yeah. I don't know. I just feel like, I think it's this Connor. Like, I feel like she is starved for love and she's not getting it from him. I really do. I think she's just starved for love. And he seems so detached and so somewhere else. I don't know.
He was
on Tinder.
reinforcing.
He's very committed to Tinder.
He was reinforcing some stuff like later on. I think it was like during the Vegas trip and stuff where he was saying a lot of things. And I was like, did somebody slip you a script for some of this stuff? Did Whitney write you a script for some of this stuff? Because it was all very encouraging things. I feel like it was just another show of, look at how great our relationship is. I don't go to Vegas because I'm not trashy like that. And then my husband is here supporting me and encouraging me with all the decisions that I'm making to better myself.
Is that when he started to cry? Didn't he cry?
I missed that.
I don't remember.
I don't know if he was crying. Well, Dakota cried a lot. I remember Dakota crying a lot.
Okay, maybe it was him.
Dakota is like, oh God, she won't marry me. I might have to get a job.
Yeah, find a place to live.
That's all of these men's worst fear, having to get like a goddamn job.
Maybe he could be a model.
Oh, that's what he tried. He soft
He's
launched
trying it
his modeling career
at the natal gummy vitamin thing.
Yes.
They're doing that
Why
photo
did he
shoot.
take his shirt off?
Because he's Dakota. Of course he's gonna. It's just, of course he's gonna.
Nobody said, sir, this is not the time or place for that. What? Who allowed this to happen?
This isn't Chippendales.
Yes.
Right.
Well, but I think this is what we're seeing, right? Because I think that the big difference between the sinners and the saints are the sinners will tell you right off the bat, I don't like that. Stop. I don't like, I'm going to live my life how I want to live it and don't tell me what to do. And the Saints are like, secretly pissed, but don't ever say anything because Macy was mad. And I understood Macy is, if you pay for a photographer, it's expensive. It's her shoot. She's paying for all this. It's like, and the fact that he had no problem just going and being like, will you take some photos of me too? It's like, do you not get this at all?
It was also strange that Taylor didn't say, this isn't really like the time or place.
Yeah.
If we want to do a maternity photo shoot, we can go book a photographer ourselves.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Taylor's just so tired. She's just like, oh, make him happy. He's going to take his shirt off.
Take 3 photos and just, we'll send him on his way.
Yes.
He'll wear himself out. We just had 44 ounces of soda in him. Let him run.
You take your toddler to the park, let them run around
just
so they
let
can
him go.
It could be all of the soda. They're just always on a caffeine high.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, I hate to say, like, he's an addict, right? I mean, he's hitting those 44 ounces hard. He is. Absolutely.
We had to see his car, probably just everywhere, empty 44-ounce soda cups.
Oh, God, I can't imagine. That's right. I can't imagine how many of those soda cups they must have around all the time. Oh, okay.
They were in every scene.
Yeah. What happens in episode 5 again?
So
was that
Layla throws her death to divorce party, which
that's
is
right. That's right.
Whitney's opportunity to show up and shock the group and stir the pot a little bit.
With another pilgrim outfit.
Yes,
of course.
Yes. I wish we learned a bit more about Layla. And she's 22. You have 2 kids and you're divorced. It's like, whoa. Can we hear about
I was
that?
trying to find information online about her ex-husband and what happened, and I couldn't really find anything. But yeah, she had these 2 kids back to back, literally like 3 months in between. And then by the time her second son, I don't even know if the baby was born when she got divorced.
Yeah, because I think
I don't know what happened.
She was 19. They were dating. She got pregnant, so they jumped into the marriage, and then had a second kid along the way too, and then quickly found out that, go figure, getting married just because you're pregnant, not always the best decision. Which then it just adds into Taylor's whole storyline where she's in that same circumstance where they're getting pressure. Dakota's applying pressure. Hey, we should get married because we're having a baby, and she doesn't want to live the same life here that she's seeing play out here with the divorce party.
Yeah, and I actually think that Taylor she's actually trying to do the right thing. She's saying, break a pattern. Yeah, break the cycle. I'm not just going to jump right into this. And I mean, by the end of this, Taylor ends up looking like the sanest person on the show.
Yeah.
Strangely enough.
Wasn't that the biggest roller coaster ride from episode 1 to the end? She seemed the most normal. She stayed out of a lot of fights.
She did.
But did you notice that every single person, part of Mom Talk, they had the same exact story? I met someone, we got pregnant, and we had to get married right away. And this is this whole thing about Whitney was talking about never getting sex education. It's a little bit like, do you not see a bit how this is broken? That every single person ends up having sex. They just do. It happens. But you don't teach them anything about birth control. So they have to get married, and then they end up in these marriages, and then they get divorced. And it's like, they're really this idea of this culture, and we put family first and marriage and all of this. But you guys act like this super cash about marriage and having children. You put no thought into it. You're not going to have birth control. You're not going to wait and get to know somebody. You're not going to live with them. It's so disjointed. It just drove me crazy. Just how, do you not see that this is a bit of a broken system?
And we see the same thing on other shows like Welcome to Plathville. With them rushing the kids right into marriage, and then them saying, I didn't even know who I was marrying, but that was the expectation that I had to go ahead and do that. So it's very prevalent, and I guess people don't see it because they're just within this show, there are multiple people who have made essentially the same mistake.
Yeah, and then I was just saying, on the flip side of that, like Jen and Jen Affleck and Zach Affleck, you know, they get into this fight, and he's like, "I'm done with you. It's over." It's like, excuse me, like, I mean,
like
so flippant about you made a commitment to this person, and marriage is so important, and you're going to stay married forever, and you have 2 little kids together. And because she dared to step foot inside of a casino that had a Chippendales in it, I'm done with you. If you don't act a certain way, I can't be with you. I mean, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That I just thought was so insane.
They put more thought into that baby blessing than he did into these things that he's saying to her.
Yeah.
Again, it's all about the outward appearances, which I guess makes mom talk so successful, because that's really what it's about, right?
That's what they're good at.
Brand deals. Yeah.
That makes sense. They would be successful in that. What else happened in this episode?
There was divorce party.
Whitney confronting Jesse, because Jesse had made that comment in the last episode about how she uses her friends, that Whitney does, and then she discards them.
Yeah, she'll rotate through the friend group, get what she needs, and then move on.
Mm-hmm. Which she, of course, denies, and she gets super defensive about that, because everyone else can say things about each other, but as soon as I say something about someone, that's held against me, which this is like a common theme in her mindset about life, that everyone holds her to a different standard, because that's how she feels about the RSV thing too.
Yeah, and I think the other part of it is there's just like this piece of Whitney that just doesn't like truth. She doesn't like hearing the truth. She doesn't want to assess any of this, because if you're hearing the same thing from multiple people in your friend group where, hey, these actions, these things that have happened and interactions that we've had have made me feel like this, where you use me for something, you get something, and then you discard. So if you have multiple people telling you that, then you should probably stop and think, what am I doing that's making people think like that? Because I don't want them to feel like that if that is your intention. So it makes me feel like it either was your intention and you don't like that you got caught, or you're just completely oblivious and then you're telling them, no, that's your fault that you felt like that. I don't owe you an apology for anything.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, she's sort of a classic. She's got a lot of these narcissistic, I know it's used a lot, but it's like, she really does have a lot of that, things that are happening to me versus, how is this affecting me and my life? And even her explanation about Colin and lying about any of these things, like, she can't even take accountability for that piece of it, of like, yeah, I wasn't truthful because she did say I was embarrassed, but it was just like, after that, I mean, I guess Taylor just started talking, but she does not. She wants to be Queen Bee. She really does. She wants to be Queen Bee, but she doesn't want anyone to know that she wants to be Queen Bee, but everyone knows she wants to be Queen Bee. And then that's a bit of the problem. And she's upset now that everyone knows that's what she wants. So she wants them to not know it anymore so that she can go back to being in this role.
Yep. And she finally gets to the reason why she definitely showed up for the party in this conversation, because she mentions, nobody's reached out to me. That's what she's really upset about and why she showed up today. She's annoyed that she's getting confronted about something that is totally legitimate, but she was here to confront everyone else about the fact that she left the group chat and nobody reached out to her to see if she was doing okay.
But Macy did.
Yeah, Macy had.
Yes. Yes, justice for
Macy.
Nobody.
She doesn't counter.
Yeah, nobody reached out. And then it's like, okay, well, you're hanging on by a thread because the only person who still wants you to be part of this group is Macy. So you have to be careful now. Everybody else is over it. They're done with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm done with her at this point.
Macy was working overtime in episode 5, though, because then she ended up being a marriage counselor, pre-marriage counselor for Taylor and Dakota.
Oh my!
It was just a bizarre fight. Very strange fight to be a third party to and have both of them pleading their case to Macy, who's sitting on the couch like, I don't have a say in this. I guess I can understand everybody's points and the hesitation to get married, especially if this is how communication is going on in this house.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. All right. Where are we now?
We're in episode 6 now. So they're all going to Jesse's salon. They're getting their hair done. And this is when they find out that Whitney has now unfollowed every single one of them. So before she had just unfollowed Demi, apparently that didn't get her enough attention. So now she's gone ahead and she's unfollowed everyone. And they're on their way to Vegas for their girls' trip to celebrate Layla's birthday. And, of course, really to make content, right? That's really why they're going.
That's always implied.
And Whitney's not invited. So we're going to see how that works out. The big thing here, which is the conversation about the husbands and the men, is that Taylor is going to be bringing Dakota. They're fighting constantly, but they're saying he has to come on the trip because she is so close to giving labor at this point that he doesn't want to be at home while she's gone.
I don't think that was the reason, though. I think it was, I feel like there was a lot of trust stuff that was in there, too, because that's why Zach Affleck is tagging along with Jen Affleck.
Yeah.
You can't say it without Affleck.
Yeah, you have to.
Why did Zach Affleck, why did he come again? What was that excuse?
At one point, they said later on that he came to support Dakota because they didn't want Dakota walking around Vegas by himself being an addict.
Addict.
Oh, that's
so.
right.
So we brought another addict.
So we add, yes, and they can help each other.
And they didn't even hang out together. Zach was gambling, and Dakota was at the go-kart place.
And probably, I don't know, asking people outside of a 7-Eleven to go buy him energy drinks that he wasn't old enough to show ID for.
Oh my gosh, that's right. I forgot about how crazy that is. That for him to have
the circular thinking,
his sober companion. My sober companion's a gambling addict, so we're going to Vegas.
It's quite a buddy.
Nothing
movie.
Could go wrong. It's an excellent plan.
This is a buddy flick that's waiting to happen. Yeah.
So they're all working on that. Meanwhile, we cut to Whitney, who is working on living out her dream of being the next Ballerina Farms. And we're learning that she wants to now buy a homestead, but a homestead that only requires an hour and a half of work a day.
Yeah. And so what does that mean exactly to homestead? Does that mean so everything you grow, everything, do you never go to a grocery store? Is like everything you do yourself? Is that homesteading? I don't know enough about it.
There's a lot of different versions about it. Like there's people who just own chickens all the way up to people who like are running full farms by themselves where they are completely sustainable without having to go to grocery stores or things like that.
Or like Love Off the Grid, where there's people who have, you know, their homesteads that they built the homes, they have the farms, and yeah, it's a varied sliding scale of involvement there.
But what Whitney's doing, they don't own the land. They like, what do they rent? They pay something so that they can go out to this property and
you know what?
It's
very Marie Antoinette. At Versailles, do you know this? That they built an entire fake farm for Marie Antoinette so she could cosplay being a peasant.
There's a romanticized, you know, oh, I want to live on a farm too. So then it's like, okay.
Let's pet the lambs and we'll go pretend for a little while to live this life. And then we'll go back
to the palace.
To the comforts of our palace. That's what this was
Got
giving.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the part that I mean, the woman did say, like, this is 24/7. Like, this is every goddamn day, you know, that this is not something that you just kind of wander into. But yeah, I don't get the whole trad wife and all that kind of stuff. I don't quite understand any of it, but it just seems a little bit like, but we have these modern conveniences. Do you know what? It's a little bit like, how is making, like, having your own eggs, like getting chickens.
But that's not even what it's about. She's trying to find a backup plan, I think.
Yeah.
Because she knows she's getting edged out of Mom Talk.
I guess so.
You know, they've pretty much kicked her out, and she has to make a living. So she
needs homestead talk.
Yes.
Homestead talk, or, you know, yeah, like the Ballerina Farms model. I think that's what she's going for. She has to change the image.
And that was really big at the time. I'm not sure like how much the trad wife thing is really trending anymore, but a few years ago, there were a lot of people talking about it and a lot of people who really didn't understand necessarily what it was on TikTok. And I think now there's a little bit of like hesitation to consume that content, but I could totally see her wanting to lean into that now that she's getting pushed out of mom talk.
For Tradwife, though, so then are you donating all of the money that you make to... Because you can't be the breadwinner then if you're talking traditional
Yeah, that won't work for them.
So that in and of itself is a contradiction too.
Well, I think Ballerina Farm, I think her husband technically owns, that's his dream.
Yeah, that was different.
His dream to start that farm, and they just gave it that name.
That was the whole problem, was that she had given up on her dance career and in pursuit of this farm. Then that was not really her ideal. But I feel like Whitney is kind of, she's the neck that turns the head, but there's a couple other instruments probably that are steering that as well.
I think she's just been watching where the views are. Yeah. And that's where she's trying to go at this point in time.
And Connor's like, I don't want to work. I'm not working. So yeah, this homestead thing's a good way to go. I mean, he scooped up like some manure, and you know that's the most physical labor he's done in years.
Well,
Put me in a video.
Whitney too, though. She was struggling.
She takes care of the kids. You know, she's that's physical.
That's different than shoveling some shit.
Yeah, again, I think that element of it is not as appealing to them as the content that they can make from it.
And I think it took her about 5 minutes of actual scooping manure to say, I think we'll pass on that. We'll find something else. We'll find another hashtag to use.
Find something cleaner. Not so messy.
Something indoors,
Yeah.
Yes. So let me just get pregnant and have another child. Let's bring a new person into this world. There we go.
More content.
Great.
Mom talk.
Moms talk.
Mom talk too. Look who's talking now.
Baby talk.
This is where Macy now starts teasing out this anonymous confession that she received on her, it looked like it was Instagram, that she does Sinner Sunday and people are allowed to send her these anonymous stories or comments, and that someone has claimed to have accidentally slept with Dakota before they realized that she was in a relationship, or he was in a relationship with Taylor. So now she's in a dilemma. What do I do? I guess not confirm that it's actually true.
No, why bother?
We're going to go figure out now, when are we going to share this information with Taylor?
This was my red flag, though, with Macy, because thinking back on the girls' trip and the Truth Box session, there was a question that was directed at Taylor that was asking if you had known that Dakota had slept with Jenna before you got together, would that change things for you with your relationship? And Taylor confirmed, I would break up with Dakota 100%, 100,000%. So she knew for a fact. I feel like that was Macy's question that was in the Truth Box. She was checking to see, yes, that is a deal breaker scenario for Taylor when it comes to Taylor and Dakota. And so then Macy has this anonymous source, because there's all these things with anonymity and information that she's been able to divulge that is now going to be very damning for, oh, look at this. We just so happen to have confirmation of that exact scenario that we were talking about.
Wow, I didn't put it together like that, but yeah, you're right.
Conspiracy brain. Dakota got there too. Dakota gets there too. And I will say again, not to defend Dakota, it's just that was one of my things where I was like, this is a lot of information that Macy has access to and then is hiding sources where it's like, did it just come from Macy?
No, so this smelled very housewifey to me.
Yeah.
Where when you got cast, they asked what things you may know about other cast members or what rumors you have heard, and that this was one of them. And that a producer slid into her DMs and sent that comment so that they had something to create this storyline out of, but that it was probably something that they had heard beforehand. That's my theory.
Yeah, because it's way too specific. Yeah.
It's good production.
Yeah.
Huh. Wow, I didn't even piece any of that together. Wow. Whew.
You got to be more shish-be-shish.
I know. I guess I'm not suspicious enough.
Robin Brown's suspicious. So the end of this episode, Jesse has planned a fun night out on the town for them in Vegas, and they end up at a Chippendale show. And that starts a whole bunch of drama between Jen Affleck and her husband, Zach.
Zach Affleck.
And then also Taylor and Dakota. But for some reason, Michaela also leaves. So they all head back to the rental house, I guess just to continue fighting with their partners, because it seems like that's what the rest of their night consists of.
Which seemed weird because that was the whole issue, was you have removed yourself from that situation. I think that was what Taylor was getting at too, was I was there. It was a surprise. I didn't know where we were going. When I found out where we were, I removed myself from that situation. There's nothing else to talk about.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything wrong.
But Jesse, who organized this, I mean, Jesse, you knew what you were doing. You knew what you were doing, because the thing is that someone said something about male strippers or male or stripping or something like that. And you heard what Zach said. He said, no, I'm not going to be cool with that. Like, these women, their marriages. Like, I mean, I don't know how much of this was Jesse's and how much of it was the producers, but but I also kind of feel like Taylor, Jen, you kind of knew this was going to be a bit of a setup. Like, I could tell what was happening.
Yeah, I think you're going to Vegas. You had to know you were going to be put in some circumstance that was going to make you uncomfortable, given Vegas and the values there really aren't aligned with what you believe in Mormonism.
Mm-hmm.
Except gambling, Zach.
Gambling, yes.
Zach's allowed to gamble.
What a hypocrite. I would be like, well, why don't you remove yourself from the casino floor?
Exactly.
And I will meet you outside.
Give me my $2,500 back.
Yeah.
That I gave you to go play
his
with.
budget. Yeah. Gambling budget. I'm sure he lost that within the first hour.
Very
quick. Yeah. I think he
Very
flew
quick.
through a lot more money than $2,500.
Oh, yeah.
So the other girls remain behind. They are like getting dry humped on stage. They are having the time of their lives.
Yeah. Layla had her first orgasm.
Maybe.
Layla was really into it.
Oh my gosh.
She was just
scared.
like, whoa.
I got scared because, I mean, you think about, to bring Taylor there, who is maybe 2 weeks out from delivering her child, I don't want them pulling her on stage for anything.
Yeah.
And I feel like Chippendales was like, whoa, hey.
we have some standards here.
But we got to put up the velvet rope on this one, okay?
It's a liability.
Yeah, that's something that is outside of the insurance that we carry. But then same thing with Jessie. She just had her breast reduction and labiaplasty as well.
Yeah,
She's
that
fresh
whole
out of
vagina
surgery.
painting.
Just had it.
Wow. A whole experience.
Yeah.
She had to be careful up there. There's a lot of
Yeah.
bending and a lot of things going on.
Yeah. Oof.
They're
Dangerous.
on a high when they return back to the house. They are having the time of their lives.
It's like they had 44 ounces of Dr. Pepper injected right into their veins.
The mood at the house, not the same.
Different vibe. Yeah.
And the ones who are really continuing to have the fight are Jen and Zach. Like, Taylor has pretty much shut down the conversation with Dakota, but I'm sorry, did I say Jen and Zach?
Jen and Zach.
It's hard when you don't include
Jen
Affleck.
Yeah.
Zach Affleck.
The Afflecks are in the midst of an ongoing fight. He's saying nasty things like threatening to take the kids away from her. But you're going to go into a family court and say, my wife walked 2 feet into a Chippendales and immediately left. I think that I need full custody of the children.
Yeah.
While I sat at the casino and lost $10,000.
Where were
She's an
you, sir?
unfit mother.
But I think this is sort of the undercurrent of what happens, is because we learn that Jen Affleck, she doesn't come from money. She doesn't come from this, like Zach Affleck does. And so there's that piece of like, I think that Jen feels like that's a real possibility. And what I wonder is, could that, I mean, if these two people showed up in court and told these stories, like how would the court look at that?
Psych Legal Pop will be right back after these messages.
Chicago, 2011. A cop is murdered. Police and prosecutors swear they have the trigger man. He swears he didn't do it. How far will each side go to prove they're right?
Like it's just one bombshell after another, where you're like, what?
The story of a PlayStation, a brain-eating amoeba, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Off Duty, out now. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Howdy, howdy, ho, and welcome to Fantasy Fan Fellas. I'm Hayden, producer of the Fantasy Fangirls podcast and your resident lover of all things Sanderson.
And I'm Steven, your bookish internet goofball, but you can call me the Smash Daddy.
And we are currently deep diving Brandon Sanderson's fantasy epic, Mistborn. But here's the catch. Steven here has not read Mistborn before.
That's right, hey. So each week, you'll get my unfiltered, raw reactions to every single chapter.
And along the way, we'll do character deep dives, magic explainers, and Steven will even try to guess what's next. Spoiler alert, he'll be wrong.
Newsflash, I'm never wrong. Episodes come out every Wednesday, and you can find Fantasy Fan Fellas wherever you get your podcasts.
Well, my favorite threat was that Zach Efron had said, I'm going to take the kids over to my parents' house. He's going to move them out to his parents' house.
Oh, he's not going to take care of
where
them.
he can solo parent with his parents.
And a full-time nanny.
That was the real threat. That's how you knew he was meaning divorce. He meant it.
So the two of them were up fighting all night. It's 2:00 in the morning, and we find out that Zach really was up all night gambling until about the same time, which Dakota told us on accident.
1:32.
1:30, 2 a.m.
Yeah.
That seems to be when he left.
So he was fighting on and off with her, but mostly gambling.
As he's gambling.
Yeah.
And as he's gambling. And then they're going to continue the fight at 2 a.m.
In between, yeah.
So everyone's nervous. Like, what happened to Jen? She's MIA. Nobody has heard anything from her. She left in the middle of the night. They were still fighting. Zach's been flipping out. And what happened from here? Whitney.
I think we're into episode 7 here. So this is like Dakota and Taylor start fighting again the next morning too. That gets weird because they're like piecing things together because that's when he was go-karting by himself. He is without a chaperone in Vegas now.
Oh, God, help us.
Where is your moving buddy?
The weirdest thing was that we cut back to Whitney and her husband somehow got insider information on what has been happening on this Vegas trip. And he's trying to tell Whitney, like, Zach has flipped out. Jen's really, like, dealing with a lot right now. And she has zero compassion for Jen at all.
Thank God we're perfect. Is the general sentiment. I didn't go on that.
One of Connor's girlfriends told him on Tinder about all the stuff that's happening in Vegas, so I'm going to report it back.
I thought it was funny, too, where he introduced the topic of, I know you're trying to stay out of the drama, but do you want, do you want to hear some drama?
He lives for it.
Oh, she does, too. Because she was like, yeah, I don't care. I need it. Yeah, I need it.
But I'm going to act completely uninterested.
Very much so.
Unaffected by it.
Yes. Well, I make animal crackers or something. Well, I do some home. This is what homesteading is.
It's what she thinks it is.
DIY craft.
She's going to find out pretty soon.
Yeah.
Jen does emerge. Everyone was worried that maybe we had a murder mystery on our hands, but she does show back up. And I love that the group was torn about whether or not they wanted her to come back to the rental because she might bring down the mood.
Yeah.
Just like last night. It was a real downer.
Yes.
So maybe I am glad she's okay, but is the vacation going to be okay?
Yeah.
We've got to keep that in mind.
We want to keep fun going, the listeners.
So they all go out to dinner, and does Jen shows up at the restaurant, right? Like as if everything's fine. Jen Affleck shows up at the restaurant like everything,'s fine. Right?
She does, but she looks like she has been crying for hours. But she's like, no, everything's good. Zach has some narc tendencies, but we're working through it. And any other marriage would be like this anyway. So why would I leave him?
Yeah, the next guy, he's just going to do the same thing. So might as well stay here.
And then I wouldn't be an Affleck.
Right.
I need that.
I'm an Affleck.
That's the real loss.
It's a big bonus. I'm not going to lie.
Oh my gosh.
I bet you anything that if they ever got divorced, she's keeping Affleck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, when she met someone new, she'd be Jennifer Affleck,
We're
Johnson
just gonna
or whatever.
hyphenate.
Yeah.
Hyphens,
Oh yeah. Yeah. She's never getting rid of that.
On her TikTok, she does a dance to, I'm Still Jenny from the Block.
Oh,
my God.
The song. And it's got writing on it that says something like, I'm the new Jenny from the Block or something. And she's dancing to that song. And I'm just like, oh, girl. No. You're taking
I don't
this.
think that's who you need to align with right now.
Yeah.
Either.
Yeah, Jen Affleck has not had a good year.
It's been, it's not a good year for Jen Affleck.
Or marriage is
No.
she's not really the poster child for marriage. So
Yeah.
Oh God, I feel for Jen. This guy is such a douche nozzle. I can't even think of it. He is such he is a Chad. He is like everything about white men.
Not a Gypsy Rose Chad. Not a good Chad.
I have a Chad.
But just the worst. Because we learn basically she's like, well, what about mom? This is the part I don't understand about Zach. So they're talking about he's going to medical school. How he's getting into medical school, I don't know. But like he's going to medical school and his whole attitude is, she's like, well, what about mom talk? He's like, I don't really care about that. I'm like, do you not understand where your money comes from? Like this, I mean, we're gonna, I'm sorry, but I would never let this guy cut me open. I mean, never.
Yes, you mean mom and dad? That's where the money comes from.
No, so she has been bankrolling him going to school.
I know, yeah,
because he spends all the other money gambling.
Yeah,
and so,
for him.
But how do you think you're going to eat in New York, a very expensive place, if she is not part of this? Do you know what I mean? Like, basically, he thinks that, oh, you'll be fine. You have the Affleck name. You're good to go on social media. Like,
That's all you need.
But no, and the show itself. I mean, come on. Like, this is what's going on here. Like, but I don't think he gets it. And I'm sorry. I don't want that person operating on me.
Yeah, they have moved to New York. Because she did another video on that. See, I watched way too much of this month. But she did another video.
Little dance about New York.
She did a dance about like saying goodbye to her home.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Everything. She's like, oh, the memories here, like all that kind of thing. So yeah, they're gone. They're out. They're in New York.
I'm wondering, like, because as I was looking at the real estate out there, I was like, oh, okay, you can get one of these big homes for like $500,000. Do you think they're all in like 1-bedroom apartment in Brooklyn? Because I still don't understand how they're going to pay for any of this stuff. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, so her entire salary from being an influencer is going to support a family of 4 in New York. Okay.
I don't know. Student loans.
I don't know. Maybe mom and dad are sending another check now that we've
You think it's mom and dad?
moved into another stage of college.
Oh, okay.
Who knows?
All right. Yeah.
And he's just going to drag that out for, I think they said 10 more years of school after this. And then she was suggesting that they take a year off to work on their marriage before they jump into.
They clearly didn't do that.
I don't think they did that.
No.
I feel bad for her because I think that that's probably like the worst thing that can happen is for her to now be separated from any support group that she possibly had or family and to be just there with him.
Yeah.
That's scary.
And I mean, I don't know what the Mormon community is like in New York, but I don't think it's as big as it is in Utah. So, I think she's going to feel very different and very isolated. She's the one I feel really bad for. I really do. But again, I heard her on Juicy Scoop. She seems to be bebopping along like on this press tour. So, and doesn't think there's anything wrong with her marriage. So, all right.
I think I saw too that she was the only cast member who was actually casted to be part of the show, who had auditioned to be part of it. Mm-hmm. So she maybe didn't really have authentic friendships with all of the women. So that's probably also part of why Zach so quickly turned against them, of not liking the influence that they were having on her. Not to defend it at all, but maybe that's also why it was a little easier for her to now give this up and walk away from it, because it really wasn't that big a part of her life. I mean, I think mom talk and making money as an influencer probably was, but this was an opportunity that she had gone and seeked out to be part of the show. And it seems like she's out after season 1.
Yeah, now she can't come back for season 2 if they're not living there.
Huh. Interesting. All right. Well, let's see. I mean,
Whitney's fighting for a season 2, though.
Yeah.
Whitney she is inserting pregnancy tests into cakes.
Oh my God.
Oh God. Oh my God. And I when Lexi, her sister, I'm like, Lexi, she's like, ew, and the whole cake? Like, she's just like, the cake is, like, if that was me, I'd be like, ooh, I can't wait to get some cake. And then I'd be like, oh God, there's pee on the cake. I don't want it now.
It's in the cake. Because then she tried to say, oh, the cap was on it. But it was like, why? Why?
Ew.
No. If you're heating it up, there's probably all sorts in the plastic.
There's no way you could have cooked it inside the cake.
Yeah,
I'm
sure she put it in after.
Did they? Okay, I really hope that they didn't bake this in, because then that's what I was like, how is this restaurant bringing this out to them?
What would be the only acceptable thing? Like if there was like a tube, like a cardboard tube that then they put in the middle of the cake and then that just sat in the middle of the tube so it didn't touch the cake. I don't think they did that, but
they didn't do that.
I'm trying to make it work in a way that maybe wasn't as gross.
Here, I have a great idea. We're pregnant.
Yeah.
Here's some cake.
I thought that it was going to be like a rolled up ultrasound photo or something.
Yes.
And then I was like, stop it. It's the whole test.
And the fact that her sister knew to ask, was that the actual test that you peed on that is in the cake now? Stuff like this has happened before. Knowing to ask those questions is a trauma response.
When it's Whitney, you gotta ask.
Because you never know if there's pee and stuff.
Did you pee on this? Why are you feeding it to me?
Now, do you think any of those people actually ate the cake?
No.
Just from the top, a little bit of the frost. No, we can't.
I need to cut a big hole in it. But yeah, but I thought because I think she already announced that she was pregnant. I kind of thought it was going to be one of those things where they knew the gender and they were going to cut it open. It was going to be pink or blue or what. I was in that headspace, but it was just like when they're like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "Oh God, did she put like a diaper in the middle? Like, what did she do? Like a onesie?" I'm like, but did not think it was going to be the pregnancy test.
No, that was a lot.
With the cap slipping off.
Nothing can prepare you for a used pregnancy test in a cake.
In your cake.
I was going to say, the gender reveal, she better not plan on doing with a cake because nobody is going to eat any baked goods from her anymore.
This would be a problem for we have people in our family who are cake addicts. And so
would be so pissed that we destroyed a cake.
This is destroying. This is like religious sacrament.
It's sacrilegious.
It's just like this is an abomination that has taken place here. This is unforgivable.
A good cake.
Unforgivable.
I love cake. I would be, and when you see cake, don't you get excited? You're like, "Ooh, cake," and just to learn it's been peed on. And now I'm gonna have to go home and get cake or something. We're gonna afford
Now I'm going to have to kick dirt on this so that I don't go picking at it subconsciously. It's just going to happen. I'm going to reach for it. I know I'm going to go for a slice. I can't trust myself.
They had to order dessert at the restaurant. There's no way they served that cake.
Oh, no. Yeah. No, everybody wanted cake. Yeah.
I don't know how the waiter from the restaurant brought this out and presented it to them, knowing that was underneath.
Oh, I don't
Did
think
she
they
tell
knew.
them?
I don't think she knew. No,
I think she did that at home and just brought the cake.
So you had them take a cake that had your pea stick on it into their commercial kitchen?
Yes.
I feel like this is just
that's what happened.
Now we're crossing into territories I'm not comfortable with.
Laws have been broken here.
No, some producer was like, she suggested this to a producer, and the producer's like, "Good idea. Yeah, why don't you do that? I'll hold the cake until it's time to bring it out. Don't worry." Because they know that it doesn't need to be refrigerated because they know no one's going to eat it.
Nobody's eating this thing, yeah. It's going right in the trash.
What's happened to it?
Oh my gosh. Did we miss the stuff with Dakota and Taylor?
Oh.
The confrontation about the DM, because that happens in episode 8.
Well, that was, because I think we had their conversation in episode 7, which was bizarre to me because that was the morning after in Vegas where
this poor woman is 36 weeks pregnant and trying to take a nap, and he scaled those stairs and woke her up for what? To continue
to say he was sorry for overreacting?
But then they argued.
This part
was that
me,
the same? So I'm sorry. Was that the same night? Did Macy tell her that night in Vegas, or did Macy wait till they got back from Vegas?
She was going to tell her that morning, and then Dakota showed up, ran up the stairs, and barged into Taylor's room to start talking to her about being sorry for overreacting. Which this was all the part too, where I was like, I feel like dating Dakota is it's like a CIA interrogation session where he found out that she was going to sleep and he was like, no, don't go to sleep.
Stay away.
I'm just wearing you down.
She does complain about being tired a lot.
Yes.
She does. Yes. She's like, I'm so tired. He's keeping her up at night.
He is a full-time job for her.
Oh God. I feel for her. And she has 2 young kids too. On top of that, 50% of the time she's dealing with these 2 young kids and Dakota, her 3 kids.
Soon to be 4 kids.
Yeah. So what was his defense of all of that? I can't even remember now. I think I was starting to tune Dakota out.
He just denied it. He denied it and then questioned Macy's motives for having shared that information.
So then he has to go confront Macy now because Macy, it's your fault that you're causing problems in my relationship with Taylor.
This was also weird. He just gets into her car.
Yeah. Oh, that whole thing. Yes, that
in the
was
parking
weird.
lot.
You know what it was giving?
No, but they're like, well, what should we go do? What should we do? They decided to go get soda.
Soda.
Of course. What else are you going to do?
That's all there is to drink there.
There's nothing else.
It was kind of like jumping in a drug dealer's car. Yeah. Was it not?
Yeah.
It was a little bit like that. And she was scared. I don't think she expected that he was approaching the vehicle.
Well, this was,
Yeah, so they have their soda and
their soda and their tea.
And they talk through it, and he's accusing her of trying to sabotage his relationship with Taylor, and she's like, I'm just trying to share some information that someone told me that I would want to know. Again, the classic defense on things like this. And they just agree to disagree. So that's where we leave that.
That was a good, 15-minute conversation in the car to zip through the soda drive-through.
Yes.
Well, she's busy and she has other things to do because she's holding a launch party for the baby mama gummies. Mm-hmm. And the big question here is, will Whitney show up or will she not? Because she's supposed to be one of Macy's besties. But she's, again, excluded herself from the group, and Macy hasn't heard from her whether she's coming or not. And this is annoying the other girls because everyone pretty unanimously cannot stand Whitney aside from Macy. So they decide that they're going to do a countdown to whenever there's a launch, but then they said there was some type of watch party situation, whatever. They wait to see if Whitney shows up, and if they don't, they're all going to unfollow her.
At the same time.
At the same time, yes.
Yeah.
I think the website was going live. I think that's what they were counting down to.
Oh, that was very Sister Wives Closet
my
of them.
Sister Wives Closet launch, web launch.
I hope it went better than that one did.
But it's not like a ball dropping. It's like, bing, okay, the site's live. There's no thing.
No payoff or excitement after that.
We're getting a lot of hits on the website.
Not a lot of purchases.
Not a lot of purchases.
Because my question was, if Macy said motherhood journey one more time, I was going to lose it. But she kept saying something to support you in your motherhood journey. What does that mean? What is in this gummy?
Oh, they're not going to tell you what's in it.
It's just a bunch of soda? It's the gummy?
It's a Dr. Pepper gummy.
You know what? That would sell amazingly well there.
Oh my
I think
God.
that's a business venture for you.
Oh, but
or
then
a partnership. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. God, We got to get the homestead thing going. We got to get land where you can use your Wi-Fi, and we give like influencers a place, and then we just give them these gummies.
Well, we're going to sell them to them.
Yes. I'm not going to give it to them. Sorry. Sell it to them.
Or a coupon code. That way they can share that.
Yeah. Here's my affiliate code in the description.
So we have no idea what's in these gummies at all.
They're supplements, so nobody knows.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, okay. Got it. All right.
Nobody knows.
That's what people need.
Nobody knows.
Okay.
So everybody has unfollowed Whitney now. And of course, that's going to stir up some shit because we know Whitney, she's probably checking every hour to see if she's lost followers. They're just a matter of time before she realizes that this has happened. And Michaela has a birthday party. I guess this is the only thing she's really contributed this season, huh?
This was it.
Aside from, right.
I was
Why
so
is she there?
confused. Well, like the first episode, it was like, okay, there's Michaela. And then for every episode after that, I was like, oh my gosh, she's not doing her makeup anymore. It's like every time you saw her, she just rolled out of bed.
She didn't have a glam squad.
Yeah,
That's
but
what
I think
most people would look like on TV.
it's true, but it was just shocking to me.
But it was back and forth because there were times where she was the only one not wearing makeup, and then there's other times that she was, and then other times she's the one that got pregnant at 16, right?
Yeah,
her husband forever
with her 21-year-old husband.
16 and 20. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And she was the one. So it was like every time I saw her, I was like, who is this? Because she was looking different every time I saw her, too. So that was just even more confusing at the beginning of the season.
Yeah. But she wore a real hoochie mama dress to her birthday.
To roller skate in?
Yeah.
That was brave. Yeah, that was bold.
It was brave.
That's like a pant or a short situation for sure. Where you know, I don't know what she had going on under there, but that was risky.
Yes.
And of course, who is going to show up today? None other than Whitney.
Because they're such good friends.
Well, of the people who had things going on in this episode, I thought she would go to the baby mama launch, not Michaela's birthday party.
Well, no, this is all because they unfollowed her at the launch. So she has to show up. She thinks she's coming to make everyone else uncomfortable by showing her face. She walks in, she just gives Michaela a gift. And Michaela's like, cool, I'm not really that interested. And then it seems like her real motive was to come here to talk to Macy because Macy has not been picking up the phone to talk to her.
Well, and she was smirking from the moment she walked in the door. She couldn't even make it all the way over to the other side of the roller rink, which
she knew what she was doing.
I mean, she stayed on the outside of it, though. She didn't try to cut across or anything.
She didn't walk across it.
That would have drawn a little bit too much attention, but she was smiling and like holding back a laugh the whole time she was walking over there. Like she was getting the best of everybody in the room, but then she slowly realized that she's the one who looks ridiculous in this situation.
Yeah.
And what was she? She was wearing like a paper bag or something.
Her homestead clothing.
It's from the Homestead Prairie collection.
Did she get the memo that it was supposed to be sparkly, glittery, disco?
She's got an aesthetic and she's sticking to it.
Yeah. Did she even get an invitation? How did she even know to come? Did the producers just tell her just show up? Because everyone looked pretty surprised to see her.
They must have.
There's got to be a producer in Whitney's ear that's like, wow, Whitney, God, Macy's not calling you back, huh? Wow. You know, there's a party. You know what you need to do? I think they would be thrilled to see you, or I think they would see you. They've been talking about you. Like, I think she kind of
miss you.
Yeah, they miss you. I think she got a little tricked into going.
Oh, yeah.
And thought that she was going to get this same thing. But again, Whitney, we've now seen you disconnect yourself from the group 4 or 5 times. And each time it does not work the way you want it to. When are you gonna learn? When are you gonna stop?
I think the problem is that her mindset permanently is that she is the main character of everything.
Yeah.
And she thought that this was going to be like a mind-blowing moment, that they were going to see her walk in and everyone else was going to freeze and feel uncomfortable because here comes Whitney, here to confront us. And then as soon as she sat down and everybody was giving her the cold shoulder, she kind of like freaked out and backed out. Like she couldn't actually follow through with it because that's not really who she is.
Yeah. Well, and Michaela, who's the most like kind of tame person, even she was just like, ugh, and kind of gets away from her.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I don't think she was she definitely wasn't expecting that kind of reaction. I think she was, she was either expecting something big one way or the other. I don't think she was expecting indifference. And that's really kind of what it was. It was a lot of like, ugh, really?
Yeah, Michaela just wouldn't even talk to her.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't even speak to her.
And that makes sense that would upset her the most because that's no attention, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not
Right.
negative attention and it's not positive attention. It's just indifference.
Yeah.
And she didn't really know what to do with that.
Yeah. Yeah. So what happened with Macy? Did Macy Macy held her own a little bit, right? Macy didn't give in.
She was still, I think she put Whitney on the back burner a little bit because she said she was in the doghouse for missing the baby mama launch, but now that she showed up to this, she's kind of halfway out of the doghouse with Macy. So she was trying to say that they were like working back on better terms. But most of the stuff that Macy had been saying about Whitney was not very positive. She was agreeing with everybody else in their assessment on how Whitney's not that great.
Yeah. But which is what Macy does at all of these gatherings. When Whitney's not there, Macy's like, yeah, she's kind of a loser. I can't stand her. And then, she's like, oh, but where is she? I don't know. I don't know.
She's
I think
playing
Macy,
both sides.
Always.
Yeah. And I think that Macy was one of these people that really did not want to be disliked. So she's like, I've got to be the likable one. I've got to be the down to earth, likable one. And to the point where it's like, but now you don't seem to have an opinion one way or the other.
Yeah, she won't fight with anyone. She won't. Yeah, that's not going to work. She's got to mix it up.
Yeah. If you want this Housewives show to work.
I think that's why she's holding on to information though. Like she's the one feeding information to the group because at the end of, I guess this was the end of the season and they're teeing it up for it to continue in the future. We end the season with Macy calling Jenna, who is someone we haven't met, who is the one that they suspect cheated with Dakota on Taylor. And so it seems like she's trying to get more insider info to then bring back to Taylor. And that's where we leave her. So she has to be part of season 2 if she's going to be bringing that information in.
Well, she's playing the long game here.
Yeah, she is. Now Jenna's going to be part of season 2. Do you think they'll bring Jenna in? And
oh yeah. I think if this follows like a housewife format, that's what Andy Cohen would do.
They recruited Jen Affleck, and now they're going to replace her because she's going to New York with Jenna, and so you'll be able to just cycle that in.
Yeah.
The only other thing that happened was we find out that Whitney and Jen have left Mom Talk. Obviously, Jen was somewhat forced by Zach to do that. But Whitney is acting as though this was her own personal choice, even though she has essentially been alienated from the group.
Yeah. And then we do see, that was the last episode. We see Taylor having her baby, and we see the two of them and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I was waiting to find out this baby's name because I was like, it's some crazy Utah name. I can't wait. And they never showed it.
Oh, I think I saw that on a TikTok. The one of her kids' names is Ocean. It's not the one that was just born, but the other names it's like Ocean, and then one of them is named Ever, like Ever. And then the other one has an equally weird name. I think it starts with an I, or it might even just be I don't know.
But spelt with a Y.
Yeah. I spelled pronounced I, but spelled, just Y. I don't know. It's got a Y in there somewhere, but a weird name. Yeah.
Yeah.
So overall, what did you think? This was like a roller coaster, a fever dream, not what we expected, but somehow addicting to watch.
Yeah. I kind of feel like maybe I might watch next season if it comes out.
Oh, yeah. I need to know
what happens to Jenna. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't at all what I thought it was going to be, but it was definitely entertaining. But by the end, I really hated all of them. Like I wanted to talk about them incessantly, but I also really hated them all because I was like, God, this is exhausting.
I came to like Taylor. I don't know. I feel sorry for her. I feel like everyone's so hard on her, including her own family. And I think she's kind of, I see her as the underdog, even though she's the most popular and the most well-known, has the most followers, all that stuff. So I don't know. I mean, she's interesting to me. She really is kind of the quintessential, reality show character, because she's messy. And like you said, it kind of got complicated when she got arrested and then got pregnant. So it kind of veered off in another direction. But I feel like even then she managed to keep it alive and keep it going and keep herself interesting and relevant. And, and I really like Demi, and I think Layla has some potential. She just needs to kind of maybe open up some more.
Yeah, we didn't learn too much about her.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that we were talking about the other day was this idea of, so this is very Housewives-esque, but we're using influencers as the stars of the show. And that is the way that a lot of shows are starting to go. Presumably because they bring their own built-in audience, right?
Yeah.
So there are people who are going to watch this just because they know them from TikTok. But is that something that really works in reality TV? Because I think we saw here, like, there are some people who really are, like, have the potential to be TV reality stars. And then there are others who maybe their personality doesn't really translate beyond social media.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it comes down to like how the producer's not being lazy. Like, I've heard this a lot with writing books these days, right? If you pitch a company for a book, they want to know how many followers you have. And a lot of people have gotten book deals because they have millions of followers. And what publishing companies have found is like, oops, wait a second. They wrote this book. It's terrible. It's not good. And no one's buying it. So I think if they can get away from the fact that, if you have a built-in audience, they may come with you, but you kind of can't predict if that's it. It still has to be good. Do you know what I mean? The person still has to be good for the show, good for reality TV. And the thing about Whitney is that, Whitney, the game is you show up to stuff, you get along, you say things to people, you do that. And that's, I think, one of the pieces why the Sinners did a bit better than the Saints, because the Sinners, they're the ones that really were like, I'm not going to be someone else. And I think that that's a bit of the problem with Whitney and Jen. And Michaela, we didn't see a lot from her, but we saw this very clearly that they don't know who they are. They are a little all over the place. They can't completely be honest with who they are. So it doesn't work.
I think there are hours of footage of Whitney doing boring shit by herself that are on a cutting room floor somewhere. That she thought she was going to fully become one of the lead characters of this show, even without the rest of the group. And that just fell flat because, like you said, that's not the game. You need to show up to things. You need to get into confrontations with people. You need to have conversations coming out of those things. And she did not play the Housewives game correctly.
Yeah. And you can't hold grudges. You can't hold grudges. That's the other thing, too. This is a big thing in these shows, right? If you hold a grudge, it stops everything cold. So you can't hold a grudge.
You need the communication to continue, or there's no more drama to feed off of.
Yeah.
She thought her homemade animal cracker recipe was going to get her out of that bind, but I don't think it did. I don't think it accomplished what she thought it was going to.
Yeah. But I'd watch season 2. Not all in one day, but I'd watch season 2.
Spread it out a little bit more this time.
Yes,
learned.
So that we know what we're getting into. Yes.
Yeah, I know. Let's do the old-fashioned way, one episode at a time.
Yeah.
Agreed. This is a week-by-week show next time around.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Now that we know it's good, because we had no idea what it was even going to be or how much there would even be to talk about. So now we know. Yes. This is full-on junior varsity housewives, basically.
Yeah. Maybe it'll get pulled up to the varsity team someday. Yeah. Who knows?
Oh, that could be good.
Yeah. Oh, maybe some crosses with Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I don't watch that version of Real Housewives, but
it's so good. It's very good.
That's what people say. But I just don't want to have to watch Jen Shaw for a couple of years.
Well, she's in prison.
I know, but I'm such a completionist. I like to start from the beginning, and for me to come in at like season 3, 4, it'd be very upsetting to me. I can't I have to start from the beginning. I just don't want to watch her.
It's one of those divisive ones too. It seems like Housewives purists don't really like the Salt Lake City version, but that is more accessible for people who don't really watch a lot of the other Housewives stuff. That's the one that they can get into a little bit more. So it's kind of weird.
Okay. But I do know this whole Monica season has been really fascinating, and everyone's been talking about it. So maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And there's little Jen Shaw mentioned, but that's about it because she was friends with Jen.
Yeah.
And that's her genesis of getting on the show.
I have a hard time. I am so sick of all of these scammers and, fraudsters and all of these people getting platforms and getting the ability to, just have a platform in general. I just don't think anyone should be giving it to them. So I just have a hard time with it. I can't. It drives me, the Anna Delveys and all of these people, that it's just like, you cheated people. You lied to people. You're now doing time. So.
Yeah, well, TBD, we'll see if Jen Shaw returns or not after she gets out of prison.
God. Oh, God.
I'm sure she will if the show's still
I know.
on.
They let Teresa Giudice come back to Real Housewives of New Jersey, so there's a precedent there.
Yes, there is. There is. All right.
Well, Brooke and Tess, thank you so much for joining us and coming on this adventure with us, I suppose.
It's been a journey.
Definitely.
It has been not a motherhood journey, but a journey. I don't know what kind of journey it's been, but it's been a journey. Yeah.
It's a mom talk journey.
Yes. So, I got my hair extensions in. I got my 44 ounces of 19 different kinds of sugar-free syrup crap. I just love how it's like no sugar. Give me the sugar-free.
Give me the artificially flavored ones. That's much
no
better.
Sugar, please.
Oh my goodness.
It's been fun.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. Yeah. And then, where's the best place for folks to find you if they haven't listened already?
You can find us wherever you listen to podcasts, Psych Legal Pop, or you can find us on Patreon, patreon.com/Psych Legal Pop podcast. And we talk about, I'm a therapist, Brooke's an attorney. So we talk about all this pop culture stuff, and, give our opinions, and we cover Sister Wives and, other documentaries and such. So come check us out.
True crime.
Yeah.
Celebrity trials.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All kinds of
Very
stuff.
fun.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So
thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you so much, everybody. If you have made it through these last 2 hours, you are a hero. Thank you so much for tuning in to our crossover with Corey and Carly. They are so funny, and they have one of the best podcasts. We absolutely love it. Corey and Carly, Surviving Sister Wives and Surviving Reality TV, both of their podcasts. They have a Patreon, like I mentioned, patreon.com/survivingpod. And if you are interested in learning more about Brooke or I, or what we're doing here, we also have a Patreon, patreon.com/Psych Legal Pop podcast. There are other ways to support the show. Please give us a 5-star rating and review. Those reviews really do help us. We've ruffled some feathers in the past, and so people have given us some negative reviews. So the 5-star reviews really do help us. And subscribe to the podcast. Get all the episodes. And if you want more from us, go check us out on Patreon. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks so much. See you next time. Bye.
This message comes from Jackson. Taxes aren't something you can only think about once a year. With investments, planning for tax day is year-round. Fortunately, Jackson offers tax-efficient products. Visit jackson.com for more information on how our products can make your tax bill a little bit less painful. Jackson is short for Jackson Financial Incorporated, Jackson National Life Insurance Company, Lansing, Michigan, and Jackson National Life Insurance Company of New York, Purchase, New York.
Howdy, howdy, ho, and welcome to Fantasy Fan Fellas. I'm Hayden, producer of the Fantasy Fangirls podcast and your resident lover of all things Sanderson.
And I'm Steven, your bookish internet goofball, but you can call me the Smash Daddy.
And we are currently deep diving Brandon Sanderson's fantasy epic, Mistborn. But here's the catch. Steven here has not read Mistborn before.
That's right, hey. So each week, you'll get my unfiltered, raw reactions to every single chapter.
And along the way, we'll do character deep dives, magic explainers, and Steven will even try to guess what's next. Spoiler alert, he'll be wrong.
Newsflash, I'm never wrong. Episodes come out every Wednesday, and you can find Fantasy Fan Fellas wherever you get your podcasts.
That new thing? Yeah, we've got it. The Drop by GNC, bringing you all the newness that matters, handpicked by the pros who actually know what's up and what's proven to work. We keep you on top of the trends and dialed into what's next. Whether you're crushing it at the gym, leveling up your game, or thriving every day, The Drop by GNC is where the latest solutions in health and wellness land first. Non-stop innovation and fresh finds daily. Explore what's new and what's next on The Drop by GNC.